MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Assalamu alaikum wa barakatuh. He was the other one that came 2 days ago, right? MashaAllah, UT Austin? You never seen me there? I'm always at Nueces. Jumar, you don't go to the events? Ibrahim Javed and all those guys are very close friends. Kareem Abdi. All of them. Ayah number 71. Verse number 70. Sorry. Verse number 78 on Surah number 3, Al Imran. الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلله فلا هادي له أما بعد وإن منهم لفريقا يلوون ألسنتهم بالكتاب لتحسبوه من الكتاب وما هو من الكتاب ويقولون هو من عند الله وما هو من عند الله وَيَقُولُونَ عَلَى اللَّهِ الْكَذِبَ وَهُمْ يَعْلَمُونَ. Allah is talking about another group of the Yahud. What they used to do is they would change the meaning. One was the literal altering of the verses of the Torah, and one was the meaning or altering of it. When you change the Kitab of Allah or any of the spiritual books of Allah, the Samawi books of Allah, this is called tahrif. It comes from the Arabic word harf. Harrafa yuharrifu tahrifan, meaning you're changing the letters. However, there's two types of tahrif. One is tahriful haqiqi, the literal tahrif, where they would omit a passage and bring another passage. And one is tahriful ma'nawi, where they would alter the meaning and say the meaning means something else. For example, very famously in the Quran, if a verse comes about something that people don't understand, they just disregard the ayah and say, oh no, this ayah means nothing. Oh, this ayah is nothing. Oh, this ayah is no longer relevant. So when people are unable to explain an ayah, they chalk it down to this ayah has no connection to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, لَفَرِيقًا يَلْوُونَ أَلْسِنَتَهُم. They twist their tongues بِالْكِتَابِ لِتَحْسَبُوهُ مِنَ الْكِتَابِ, to try to show that it's from the book of Allah. وَمَا هُوَ مِنَ الْكِتَابِ, and it's not from the book of Allah. وَيَقُولُونَ هُوَ مِنْ عِنْدِ اللَّهِ, and they're saying it's from Allah. وَمَا هُوَ مِنْ عِنْدِ اللَّهِ, and it's not from Allah. وَيَقُولُونَ عَلَى اللَّهِ الْكَذِبِ, and they're saying lies on Allah. وَهُمْ يَعْلَمُونَ, and they know. ما كان لبشر أن يؤتيه الله الكتاب والحكم والنبوة ثم يقول للناس كونوا عبادا لي من دون الله ولكن كونوا ربانيين بما كنتم تعلمون الكتاب وبما كنتم تدرسون. It's not possible that a person that Allah has given knowledge of the book and of hikmat and nabuwah, then that person tells people, follow me and worship me. However, worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and be worshippers of Allah. The job of the scholar is to connect people to Allah, not to themselves. Unfortunately, today, we call this shakhsiyat parasti. In Urdu, it's called shakhsiyat parasti, which means you worship individuals. The individual becomes more important than the message. If so-and-so says it, then it's only true. If so-and-so doesn't do it, then it's not true. Oh, so-and-so sheikh did this action, therefore it's okay. The actions of scholars is not evidence. The words of scholars are evidence, not their actions. And today, not even their words are evidence for most of them. Tahrif haqiqi. وَلَكِنْ كُونُوا رَبَّانِيِّينَ, be worshippers to Allah بِمَا كُنْتُمْ تُعَلِّمُونَ الْكِتَابَ وَمَا كُنْتُمْ تَدْرُسُونَ, as you have been teaching the kitab and as you have been studying the kitab. Over here it's referring to Torah, but it can refer to any kitab of Allah. وَلَا يَأْمُرَكُمْ أَن تَتَّخِذُوا الْمَلَائِكَةَ وَالنَّبِيِّينَ أَرْبَابًا, don't take the malaika and the prophets as your lords. أَيَأْمُرُكُمْ بِالْكُفْرِ بَعْدَ إِذْ أَنْتُمْ مُسْلِمُونَ, are you commanding them of kufr after they've accepted Islam? Sometimes some of the things we say and the words we say about scholars and try to praise our own shaykh, we turn them into what? We go beyond the the permissible praising. وَلَا نُزَكِّي عَلَى اللَّهِ أَحَدًا. Remember one thing, when you praise someone, don't praise them too much. Limit it. MashaAllah, this, that. Don't go overboard in praising someone. Why? It's because everyone is human and everyone is fallible and everyone can make mistakes. وَإِذْ أَخَذَ اللَّهُ مِيثَاقَ النَّبِيِّينَ لَمَا آتَيْتُكُم مِّن كِتَابٍ وَحِكْمَةٍ ثُمَّ جَاءَكُمْ رَسُولٌ مُصَدِّقٌ لِمَا مَعَكُمْ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took a promise, مِيثَاقَ النَّبِيِّينَ, and He said, when I give you the kitab and the hikmah and the wisdom, then another Nabi comes who affirms with what you have with you. لَتُؤْمِنُنَّ بِهِ وَلَتَنصُرُنَّهُ. Believe in that Nabi and also support that Nabi. قَالَ أَأَقْرَرْتُمْ وَأَخَذْتُمْ عَلَى ذَلِكُمْ إِصْرِي. Then you believed in him, and then he said, do you affirm and do you accept my covenant, do you accept my words? They said, we affirm. قَالُوا أَقْرَرْنَا. We affirm. قَالَ فَاشْهَدُوا وَأَنَا مَعَكُمْ مِنَ الشَّاهِدِينَ. Bear witness, I'm also a witness with you as well. فَمَنْ تَوَلَّى بَعْدَ ذَلِكَ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْفَاسِقُونَ. Whoever turns back from there, then they are fasiqs. They are those who are sinners. أَفَغَيْرَ دِينِ اللَّهِ يَبْغُونَ وَلَهُ أَسْلَمَ مَنْ فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. Besides the deen of Allah, do you desire something? And for Allah, everything in the heavens and the earth submits. طَوْعًا وَكَرَهًا وَإِلَيْهِ يُرْجَعُونَ. Willingly or unwillingly, everything comes to Allah. Karhan over here comes from the Arabic word makruh, which means undesirably. Karhan means you're forced to do something because it's undesirable, you don't like to do it. قل آمنا بالله وما أنزل علينا وما أنزل على إبراهيم وإسماعيل وإسحاق ويعقوب والأسباط وما أوتي موسى وعيسى والنبيون من ربهم لا نفرق بين أحد منهم ونحن له مسلمون. Say, I believe in Allah and what has been revealed upon myself and upon Ibrahim and Ismail and Ishaq and Yaqub and their children, and what Musa alayhi salam was revealed upon, and Isa alayhi salam, and the different prophets from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. لا نفرق بين أحد منهم. We don't differentiate between the prophets. ونحن له مسلمون. And we are submissive to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. ومن يبتغي غير الإسلام دينا فلن يقبل منه وهو في الآخرة من الخاسرين. This is the evidence that only a Muslim will enter into Jannah. Just the way Christians believe only Christians will enter and Jews believe only Jewish will enter. Whenever we are asked this question in interfaith places, I turn the question back and I ask them. I say, what do you say? فَمَا هُوَ جَوَابُكُمْ فَهُوَ جَوَابُنَا. Whatever your answer is, it is our answer. Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi alayhi, one time, he was in Banu Abbas. The Khalafat Abbas was there at that time. Abu Ja'far Mansur. And there was obviously, jealousy is very well known amongst people. Everywhere there's jealousy, hasad. Jealousy was what took us out of Jannah. So Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi has a fiqhi opinion that if you say wallahi to something, and then you say inshallah immediately after, you don't have to go through with it. So for example, I say, wallahi I'm going to give you talaq, inshallah. So inshallah negates a promise. Wallahi I'm going to eat this dinner, inshallah. It negates it. However, Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi alayhi says the sentence must be joined together. Imam Shafi'i rahmatullahi alayhi, and at that time Imam Shafi'i wasn't alive, he was born the year Imam Abu Hanifa passed away. Imam Shafi'i wasn't there. But Imam Shafi'i takes the view of Abdullah bin Abbas radiallahu anhu, who says that even if I say wallahi I'll do this, later on I can say inshallah. There can be a break. Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi didn't agree with this. So now Qadi Abu Layla was against Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi on many occasions. Prolific scholar, but everyone has their mistakes and their shortcomings. In the court of Abu Ja'far Mansur, Qadi Abu Layla said, Khalifa, Amir al-Mu'mineen. Abu Hanifa here, he thinks your uncle is wrong, your grandfather is wrong. Meaning, they're from Banu Abbas, the Abbasid dynasty. You have the Umayyad dynasty and the Abbasid dynasty. Abbasid dynasty traces back to Abbas radiallahu anhu. And Abdullah bin Abbas is his son. So, it's the lineage. So he says your grandfather is wrong, and he disagrees with your grandfather. So now Abu Ja'far Mansur got very upset, and he was about to put Imam Abu Hanifa to the sword. But how could you say about my grandfather? Because he made a political statement. When he attacked the grandfather, he's attacking the credibility of the lineage that's coming to them. So Imam Abu Hanifa was about to be chastised for this. And Abu Hanifa responded and he said, Amir al-Mu'mineen, Adi Abu Layla is trying to take your whole kingdom away. He said, what do you mean? He said, what he is saying is basically, remember what Imam Abu Hanifa gives advice. That if someone asks you a very tough question, the answer to a tough question at times is another question. Sometimes the answer to a question is another question. So then Qadi Abu Layla, he says, Qadi Abu Layla is trying to snatch your kingdom away from you. He says, what do you mean? He said, he's saying that when people came to you and said, Abid al-Mu'min, I swear by Allah, we will follow you and we will follow behind you and we will give you our taxes and we will fight for you and we'll be there for you. They can go home and say, Insha'Allah, and their promise is broken to you. So Khalifa Abu Mansur turned towards him and said, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to make people deceive me by saying Wallahi in my face and going home and saying Insha'Allah? And Abu Hanifa said, that's why I say Insha'Allah has to be together. Otherwise people would say Wallahi, go home and say Insha'Allah, and then after that my Wallahi doesn't count anymore. In madrasa, you know what kids used to do? They say, Wallahi al-Azim, brother, I'll give you $20. Inshallah. Imam Abu Hanifa he was a faqih. He's not called Imam al-A'zam just like that. There's books on his intellectual height, how far his intellectual capacity was. He was on a different level. وَمَنْ يَبْتَغِ غَيْرَ الْإِسْلَامِ دِينًا فَلَنْ يُقْبَلَ مِنْهُ. So when people say this, I just ask them another question, saying that this is a statement of all religions. وَهُوَ فِي الْآخِرَةِ مِنَ الْخَاسِرِينَ. And in the akhirat, he is from the losers. كيف يهدي الله قوما كفروا بعد إيمانهم وشهدوا أن الرسول حق. How can Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide a people who disbelieved after they have accepted faith and testify that the Nabi is true and the clear signs had come to him? وجاءهم البينات والله لا يهدي القوم الظالمين. And Allah does not guide the oppressive people. أولئك جزاؤهم أن عليهم لعنة الله والملائكة والناس أجمعين. And there are those whose punishment is that Allah's la'nat is on them and the malaika and the people. Allah's la'nat was enough, but Allah says every creation of His will begin to hate you. Some people have love in other people more than they have love in Allah. They hope from others more than they hope from Allah. And Allah says even their la'nat is on you. خالدين فيها. They will live in Jahannam forever. Shaykh Al-Bani, rahimahullah, was of the opinion that Jahannam would come to an end and Jannah will be there forever and ever. He had no evidence for this. He just said that because Allah is incredibly merciful, it doesn't make sense that Jahannam would exist forever. However, Allah says right here in the Quran, خالدين فيها. They'll be there forever. لا يخفف عنهم العذاب ولا هم ينظرون. Their adab will not be decreased and they will not be given respite. إِلَّا الَّذِينَ تَابُوا مِن بَعْدِ ذَلِكَ وَأَصْلَحُوا فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ غَفُورٌ رَحِيمٌ. But those who do tawbah and those who change their lives, Allah forgives them and Allah is compassionate. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا بَعْدَ إِيمَانِهِمْ ثُمَّ ازْدَادُوا كُفْرًا لَنْ تُقْبَلَ تَوْبَتُهُمْ وَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الضَّالُّونَ. Those people who bring kufr after iman. In another ayat Allah says 3 times. They brought iman, then kufr, then iman, then kufr, then iman, then kufr, then on the 3rd time Allah won't forgive them. But the Ahnaf say that Allah will forgive a person as long as they bring iman on their death. By their death, they have in the state of iman, then that's fine. Allah will forgive them. لَن تُقْبَلَ تَوْبَتُهُمْ. Allah won't accept their tawbah. وَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الضَّالُّونَ. And they are misguided. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا وَمَاتُوا وَهُمْ كُفَّارٌ. Those who disbelieve and die as disbelievers. فَلَنْ يُقْبَلَ مِنْ أَحَدِهِمْ مِلْءُ الْأَرْضِ ذَهَبًا وَلَوِ افْتَدَىٰ بِهِ. then it will not be accepted, not even a whole world full of gold to free them from the fire of Jahannam. أولئك لهم عذاب أليم. For them there is a big adab, and there is a hurtful adab, and there is a painful adab. وما لهم من ناصرين. And they are those who are, and they have no helpers. لن تنالوا البر حتى تنفقوا مما تحبون. Abu Talha radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he heard this ayah, لن تنالوا البر حتى تنفقوا مما تحبون, and he had a garden. And immediately he came to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and he said, Ya Rasulullah. He came to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and he said, Ya Rasulullah, I love this garden of mine and I give this for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's sake. How many of you have been to Medina Munawwara? So when you enter the women's side from the left corner of the masjid, for the men, it's the middle of the masjid. But as soon as you enter, and you look to your right, between the women and the men's section, it's on the men's section though, there is a circular marking on the ground that signifies the garden of Abu Talha. Now there's a carpet above it. If you lift the carpet up, you can see that that's where the garden was. The Sahaba were different. They heard the ayat, they applied it. We hear the ayat and we think, oh, our kids should have heard this. My husband should have heard this one. But the Sahaba, they heard the ayat, they first focused it on themselves. We think of who else can apply this message of this hadith on. One of my friends, he once gave a lecture in South Africa on parents. And then halfway through, he said, all of you must be thinking, I wish my kids were here. He's like, but how are you with your own parents? He's like, it's easy to say, I wish my kids were here to listen to me. But how are you with your parents? And then he said, if you're alive, go talk to them, connect with them. If they're passed away, go to their graveyard. And go do dua for them. لن تنالوا البر حتى تنفقوا مما تحبون وما تنفقوا من شيء فإن الله به عليم. Whatever you spend, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows about it. كل الطعام كان حلا لبني إسرائيل إلا ما حرم إسرائيل على نفسه. Israel is the name of Yaqub alayhi salam. Banu Israel is called Banu Israel because of his 12 children. Now, Yaqub alayhi salam had sciatica. Sciatica is the sickness where your nerves are pinched in the back and the pain goes all the way down to your feet. You all know what sciatica is, right? It's very painful. Yaqub alayhi salam had sciatica. So he did dua and he said, Ya Allah, I love camel meat. And I'm ready to forego it if you cure me from sciatica. So Allah cured him from sciatica and he left camel meat. Now Banu Israel, they were like, oh, Yaqub alayhi salam is not eating it. Excuse me. Yaqub alayhi salam is not eating it, therefore none of us will eat it. None of us will go towards it. So Allah says, I never made it haram on you, you made it haram upon yourself. Israel, Yaqub alayhi salam made it haram for himself, not for the rest of you. Now the ajib thing is that when Yaqub alayhi salam says, Ya Allah, I love camel meat, and for your sake, if you cure me, I will not eat camel meat anymore. Allah said, okay, I cure you, don't eat camel again. But when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said to his wives, I will never eat honey again, what does Allah say? Ya ayyuhan nabi, lima tuharrimu ma ahalla Allahu lak, tabtaghi mardat azwajik. O Nabi, why do you make something haram that Allah has made halal for you? Eat the honey. 28 years. Surah Tahrim, right? The Prophet, why did he say honey? Because there was one of the wives of the Prophet would always serve him honey. So when he came home to the other wife, they were like, you know what, just say that something smells bad. The first one, second one, third. The Prophet, when he thought that, obviously, because he said, you know what, I'm never going to honey again. Because the Prophet was very sensitive to bad smells. Yeah, this is sciatica. The pinched nerve thing is sciatica. Sciatica. And I've heard it's very, may Allah protect people. I've heard it's a very, very painful sickness. It's very... Yaqub alayhi salam is what we call a special needs prophet. Yaqub alayhi salam is what we call a special needs prophet. He was blind for most of his life. And I like to call this visually challenged. I don't like to use the word blind. And I don't like to use the word deaf. I like to use phonetically challenged. إِلَّا مَا حَرَّمَ إِسْرَائِيلُ عَلَى نَفْسِهِ. Besides what Israel, Yaqub alayhi salam made haram upon himself. من قبل أن تنزل التوراة, before the Torah was revealed. قل فأتوا بالتوراة فاتلوها. Tell them to bring the Torah and recite it. إن كنتم صادقين, if you are speaking the truth. فمن افترى على الله الكذب من بعد ذلك فأولئك هم الظالمون. Whoever invents a lie upon Allah after that, then they are from the oppressors. قل صدق الله. Tell them Allah has spoken the truth. فَاتَّبِعُوا مِلَّةَ إِبْرَاهِيمَ حَنِيفًا. Follow the way of Ibrahim alayhi salam, which is the upright and the righteous way. وَمَا كَانَ مِنَ الْمُشْرِكِينَ. And he was not a mushrik. إِنَّ أَوَّلَ بَيْتٍ وُضِعَ لِلنَّاسِ لَلَّذِي بِبَكَّةَ مُبَارَكًا وَهُدًى لِلْعَالَمِينَ. Indeed, the first house on earth that was ever built was the Kaaba, the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The Kaaba is directly under another house of Allah in the heavens, which is called Baytul Ma'mur. The angels built Baytul Ma'mur 2,000 years before the creation of Adam alayhi salam. And underneath it directly is where the Kaaba is. And Allah knows the authenticity of the hadith and riwayah, that first there was nothing and there was only water, and from there was a light nur that came out, and that was the area of the Kaaba, and then surrounding it land came, and then it grew and grew. It's probably a mawdu' or fabricated riwayah, but nevertheless, it's a historical incident. Adam alayhi salam built the Kaaba first. After building the Kaaba, it was destroyed in the flood of Nuh alayhi salam. Then, some say Nuh alayhi salam built it second. And then after centuries and centuries, Ibrahim alayhi salam built it. And some say after Adam alayhi salam, Ibrahim alayhi salam built it. But Ibrahim alayhi salam was not the first one to build the Kaaba. Allah calls Makkah Bakka. Makkah's old name was Bakka. That was its old name. The blessed Makkah. وَهُدًى لِلْعَالَمِينَ, and guidance for everybody. فيه آيات بينات مقام إبراهيم. And in there are ayats and there are clear signs. And you have Maqam Ibrahim. The story of Maqam Ibrahim, Ibrahim alayhi salam goes, he's building the Kaaba. There is a level he can reach to. And then what does he do? Who does he tell to go to the jungle? He tells Ismail alayhi salam, go to the jungle and get me some sort of something to elevate, stairs, steps, make something for me. He is going back, Jibreel alayhi salam comes and he says, Ya Ibrahim, here is a platform and this will levitate for you. The first elevator. Yes, so even till now the Haram doesn't have an elevator. Think about it. The Haram till now doesn't have an elevator, but Ibrahim has an elevator. Now this doesn't mean it is sunnah to use an elevator. People will come and they will say that, oh, you know what, we should only use the elevator at IACC because Ibrahim alayhi salam used an elevator. No. The Prophet didn't. Why don't you guys come more this way? Why don't you both come a little more towards the center? I'm forgetting you're even here. Oh, do you need to charge? Pretty good. One youngster, for the past few days I've been seeing, always has his phone in his hand. And then when he doesn't have his phone in his hand, he's against the wall with the charger inside. So then I told the kid, I said, when you are going to pass away, in your wasiyat right, send a power bank with me. Just so that my notifications and my, I'm really sorry you passed away, all of those are coming to me as well, and I can read them in the grave. Maqam Ibrahim used to be next to the Kaaba. Then because of the hujum of Hajj and the rush, Umar radiallahu anhu brought it back. And the footsteps of Ibrahim alayhi salam are still evident till today. You can still see it, you can still view it till today. Has anyone looked inside Maqam Ibrahim? Let me see if I can pull out the picture here. Gee. But you can still see inside. Can you all see from here or no? You can see from here? That time it's a bit hot, but nobody's there. So I usually like to do tawaf early in the morning. وَمَنْ دَخَلَهُ كَانَ آمِنًا. Whoever enters it, they are safe. There is a fiqhi discourse over here. Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullah alayhi says if somebody commits a atrocity and then they enter the haram, for example, someone commits a murder and then they enter the boundaries of the haram. Makkah is its own place, but then the haram has its own boundaries. It's elongated. It goes all the way till Arafat, the boundaries of haram. Mina, Muzdalifah, all of this is in the boundaries of haram. Aziziyah, all of this falls in the boundary of haram. Doing a good deed anywhere, there's 100,000 good deeds. However, someone does a murder and then they come inside, they are protected. Man dakhalahu kana amina. The only one that's not protected is the one who commits the murder or is a vice inside the haram. Then you lose your protection. The other ai*imma, they say that even inside the haram, you are still protected even if you do violate the sanctity of it. In the time of Abdullah bin Zubayr radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he claimed khilafah. When he claimed khilafah, Hajjaj bin Yusuf was sent to go and kill him. Abdullah bin Zubayr radiallahu anhu was in Makkah, his khilafat was in Makkah. And Hajjaj bin Yusuf came and he set up cantaloupes, not cantaloupes, what are they called? Catapults. I'm remembering the study right now, cantaloupes. Minjanik. Catapults, so things to fun, so not like big size, small. And then they set up thorns all across the haram. And they killed him inside the haram. And then they hung his body on a road called Tariq al-Shuhada. Now there's a passage there. And they hung his body over there, Abdullah bin Zubayr radiallahu ta'ala anhu. وَلِلَّهِ عَلَى النَّاسِ حِجُّ الْبَيْتِ مَنِ اسْتَطَاعَ إِلَيْهِ سَبِيلًا. And for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the people should do hajj to His house, whoever can find a way there. مَنِ اسْتَطَاعَ إِلَيْهِ سَبِيلًا. Someone said to a brother, they said, "We need to go for Hajj, but Hajj, it's so expensive." He said, "Yes, that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said Hajj is only fard on those who have the capability. It's not fard on everybody. It only becomes fard if you're able to have the finances to go, leave finances for your family, and come back safely. Only then it's fard on you. Otherwise, it's not fard on you." So basically, if you have about $6,000 in your bank account that are excess, Hajj is fard on you. And the Prophet ﷺ said, the one who Hajj is fard on, and then they don't do Hajj, he can die Yahudi, Nasrani, I don't care. It's very stern. This is the first thing people should do. And they should encourage couples as well. You spend hundreds and thousands on marriages, and then do Hajj when your back is half broken. Do Hajj earlier. Do Hajj as quick as you can, and as many as you can. Did someone say something? Did someone say something? The Prophet ﷺ, there was a woman that came and she had a baby in her hand. And she said, "Ya Rasulullah, I've done Hajj with this kid." And the Prophet ﷺ said, "Yes, you get ajr, and your kid Hajj ajr you get as well. Obviously your kid's fard Hajj won't happen because you have to be pubescent for that. But enough your Hajj will happen and you'll get the ajr for it." وَمَنْ كَفَرَ فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ غَنِيٌّ عَنِ الْعَالَمِينَ. And whoever disbelieves in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is ghani. He is independent from everybody. When I was a kid, my mother used to take me for Hajj as a small child. We grew up in Saudi, Jeddah. My father has done over 40 Hajj. So they would take us in Hajj. 1, 2, 3, 4 years old, we'd be in Hajj. And my father and mother would tell me that they'd put ihram, little baby ihram, on the kid. I still have the ihram pictures. And people in Mina used to call me Maulana Wasim. In Mina as a kid. They would say, "Oh, Maulana Wasim, Maulana Wasim." Maybe somebody's dua hit and someone's dua touched us in that time. قُلْ يَا أَهْلَ الْكِتَابِ لِمَ تَكْفُرُونَ بِآيَاتِ اللَّهِ وَاللَّهُ شَهِيدٌ عَلَى مَا تَعْمَلُونَ. O Ahl Kitab, why do you disbelieve in the signs of Allah? And Allah is a witness upon what you do. قُلْ يَا أَهْلَ الْكِتَابِ لِمَ تَصُدُّونَ عَنْ سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ مَنْ آمَنَ تَبْغُونَهَا عِوَجًا وَأَنْتُمْ شُهَدَاءُ. O Ahl Kitab, why do you prevent people from the path of Allah? مَنْ آمَنَ تَبْغُونَهَا عِوَجًا. Whoever believes, you desire تَبْغُونَهَا عِوَجًا. You're trying to create some sort of crookedness in it, trying to create problems in it for them. وَأَنْتُمْ شُهَدَاء. And while you are shaheed, you are witnesses. وَمَا اللَّهُ بِغَافِلٍ عَمَّا تَعْمَلُونَ. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not unaware of what you are doing. يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا إِن تُطِيعُوا فَرِيقًا مِنَ الَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْكِتَابَ يَرُدُّوكُمْ بَعْدَ إِيمَانِكُمْ كَافِرِينَ. O you who believe, إِن تُطِيعُوا فَرِيقًا مِنَ الَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْكِتَابَ. If you follow certain Ahl Kitab, you will be turned into kuffar and you will abandon your iman. If you guys want to grab a translation of Quran, you can, if you guys want to. Are there any translation of Quran there? If someone wants to grab it, you can grab it from there. There's 2, I think, there, no? We're on ayah number 101, surah number 3. No? Is there no more? 101, surah number 3. وَكَيْفَ تَكْفُرُونَ وَأَنْتُمْ تُتْلَى عَلَيْكُمْ آيَاتُ اللَّهِ وَفِيكُمْ رَسُولُهُ. How do you disbelieve? وَأَنْتُمْ تُتْلَى عَلَيْكُمْ آيَاتُ اللَّهِ. And the verses of Allah are being recited upon you. وَفِيكُمْ رَسُولُهُ. And in there you have the messenger of your Allah. وَمَنْ يَعْتَسِمْ بِاللَّهِ فَقَدْ هُدِيَ إِلَى صِرَاطٍ مُسْتَقِيمٍ. Whoever holds on to Allah, then they have been guided to the straight path. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. O you who believe, fear Allah and be wary of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala حق تقاته, as He should be feared. ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون, and don't leave this dunya but in the state of Iman. When was the last time you heard this ayah? Or when was the first time you heard it? Who? Khutbah. Ya Wasim, these are your kids? Which one? That one's yours? Which one is your mom? Not here? This one I remember all the time. Both of them. But the one in the gray is more special. And he knows he's special. I shouldn't? Both are special, alhamdulillah. But one gets my attention a little more in my lectures. That's why he said more special. MashaAllah, good kids. You have an older brother too. Usama's your older brother, right? Right? Usama's your older brother. What is your name? Omar. I know his older brother. This ayah you all heard in your nikahs. Apparently none of you guys trying to remember that. I asked this question one time. We're trying to forget that day. And you're reminding us of that day. وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا وَلَا تَفَرَّقُوا, and hold on to the rope of Allah together and don't تَفَرَّقُوا, don't go either udar, don't break apart. وَاذْكُرُوا نِعْمَةَ اللَّهِ عَلَيْكُمْ إِذْ كُنْتُمْ أَعْدَاءً, remember the ni'mat of Allah. You were enemies. Aus and Khazraj, 70 years they were fighting. 3-4 generations they were in war. 4 generations. And they did not know why they were fighting. One man from their great-great-grandfather killed a great-great-grandfather's relative, and that is it. 70 years there was war and there was hatred. However, look into our own family. Small thing happens and there is hatred and we don't forgive one another. What does Allah say? Ni'matullah, wadhkuru ni'matullah. Remember the time when you did not used to talk to one another. إِذْ كُنْتُمْ أَعْدَاءً فَأَلَّفَ بَيْنَ قُلُوبِكُمْ. Allah brought your hearts together. فَأَصْبَحْتُمْ بِنِعْمَتِهِ إِخْوَانًا, and then in the morning, and you grew to be brothers by the ni'mat of Allah. وَكُنْتُمْ عَلَى شَفَا حُفْرَةٍ مِّنَ النَّارِ, you were about to fall into the fire of Jahannam because of Jahiliyyah. Allah sends a Nabi to you, فَأَنْقَذَكُمْ مِنْهَا, who saves you from Jahannam. كَذَلِكَ يُبَيِّنُ اللَّهُ لَكُمْ آيَاتِهِ لَعَلَّكُمْ تَهْتَدُونَ. This is how Allah describes His signs for you, so that you may understand and so that you may get hidayah. وَلْتَكُمْ مِنْكُمْ أُمَّةٌ يَدْعُونَ إِلَى الْخَيْرِ, there should be a group amongst you, يَدْعُونَ إِلَى الْخَيْرِ, that calls people towards good, وَيَأْمُرُونَ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ وَيَنْهَوْنَ عَنِ الْمُنكَرِ, that commands people and that reminds people to do good deeds and that prevents them from doing sins. وَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُفْلِحُونَ, and they are the successful people. In ayah number 105, Al Imran is almost coming to an end. Not many verses left. Actually, there's quite a bit of verses left. About 50 more verses left. Yeah, we have a lot more left. ولا تكونوا كالذين تفرقوا واختلفوا من بعد ما جاءهم البينات, and don't be like those people who caused dissension and divided one another and they disagreed in the signs of Allah. You get the evidence? No. But Google said something else. I heard another Imam say something else. Another Sheikh say something else. They should make an Amazon for shuyukh. where you can shop for fatwas.
وَأُولَٰئِكَ لَهُمْ عَذَابٌ عَظِيمٌ. And for them there is a tremendous adab. يَوْمَ تَبْيَضُّ وُجُوهٌ وَتَسْوَدُّ وُجُوهٌ. Allah says on the day of judgment there will be two groups of people. One group whose face will be bright and one group whose great face will be dark. فَأَمَّا الَّذِينَ اسْوَدَّتْ وُجُوهُهُمْ. And those people whose face were darkened with sin, this is not a racial segregation of colors, but a a'mali segregation of colors based on actions. أَكَفَرْتُمْ بَعْدَ إِيمَانِكُمْ فَذُوقُوا الْعَذَابَ بِمَا كُنْتُمْ تَكْفُرُونَ. Allah will drag them and say to them that did you have kufr after you got iman? Did you disbelieve after you've been given iman? Did you break your faith after you've given iman? فَذُوقُوا الْعَذَابَ. Taste the azab and this will be where you will be from now on. بِمَا كُنْتُمْ تَكْفُرُونَ. Because of your disbelief. وَأَمَّا الَّذِينَ ابْيَضَّتْ وُجُوهُهُمْ فَفِي رَحْمَةِ اللَّهِ هُمْ فِيهَا خَالِدُونَ. And those whose faces are bright and lit, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says they will be in the rahmat of Allah. They will be there forever. You know the saying? It's lit. It comes from the Quran. تِلْكَ آيَاتُ اللَّهِ. These are the signs of Allah. نَتْلُوهَا عَلَيْكَ بِالْحَقِّ. We recite this upon you with truth. وَمَا اللَّهُ يُرِيدُ ظُلْمًا لِلْعَالَمِينَ. Allah doesn't want zulm or oppression for people. وَلِلَّهِ مَا فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَمَا فِي الْأَرْضِ. And for Allah is whatever is in the heavens and the earth. وَإِلَى اللَّهِ تُرْجَعُ الْأُمُورِ. And for Allah everything returns back to Him. كنتم خير أمة أخرجت للناس تأمرون بالمعروف وتنهون عن المنكر وتؤمنون بالله. Allah says you are the best. كنتم خير أمة. Out of all the nations, the people sitting in this room are the best nation that Allah has created. كنتم خير أمة. We are from the greatest nation. أخرجت للناس. However, the khuruj, we have to exit and we have to go and give da'wah to people and remind people of Allah, talk to people of Allah. Sitting on our home and sitting in the corner of a masjid, it won't cut it. Go and be extroverted, go and socialize, go and do khidmah. كنتم خير أمة أخرجت للناس. You were made to go out for the people, and you will remain the best as long as you have three qualities. تأمرون بالمعروف. You tell people to do good. وتنهون عن المنكر. And you stop them from evil. وتؤمنون بالله. And you believe in Allah. And your inner actions are also good. Your outer da'wah is good. And your inner private life is good as well. ولو آمن أهل الكتاب لكان خيرا لهم. If Ahl Kitab brought Iman, it would be good for them. مِنْهُمُ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ وَأَكْثَرُهُمُ الْفَاسِقُونَ. Many of them are believers, but many of them are also fasiq. لَنْ يَضُرُّوكُمْ إِلَّا أَذًى. They can't harm you except a little pain. وَإِنْ يُقَاتِلُوكُمْ يُوَلُّوكُمُ الْأَدْبَارَ ثُمَّ لَا يُنْصَرُونَ. They will never fight you, O Muhammad. They're too scared. They'll run away. And they'll try, and then they will go back and they won't be able to help you. ضربت عليهم الذلة أينما ثقفوا إلا بحبل من الله وحبل من الناس وباءوا بغضب من الله وضربت عليهم المسكنة. On them there is dhillah, disgrace, wherever they go. But besides the rope of Allah and the rope of the people, and they travel with the anger of Allah. وضربت عليهم المسكنة. No matter how rich they are, they have greed. I was reading today, Steve Jobs. Not Steve Jobs, what's the new guy's name? Tim Cook. Worth $637 million or $600 million. And he buys discounted clothes. Your Warren Buffett, billionaire man, eats McDonald's every day. Your President Donald Trump, let's see if we can make that claim after 1 year. The next year elections we're going to find out. What did they eat? KFC. Coke, Diet Coke. You know, one time there was a prince from Saudi who was a good friend of mine. he was studying in Chicago. So when I went for Hajj, he came to meet me, and very, very nice young man. I remember he had a nice watch on his hand. I said, mashallah, I said, it was a very beautiful watch. Immediately he took it off and he said, this is yours. I said, no, I said, I can't take it. He said, no, this is yours. He said, you said? He said, he's obviously royalty, but akhlaq, my character is different. He said, this is yours. I said, no. I said, we don't take things like this. Jazakallah khair, keep it with you. But I didn't take his watch. Yeah. Whenever, especially when I sit around wealthy people, I make sure that there is no type of inclination or anything where their wealth has any effect or anything on my decision or any capacity. To me, someone's wealth means nothing to me. You can be driving, and someone was telling me about somebody the other day, and they said, mashallah, Mufti Sahib, this man drives a Rolls Royce and Lamborghini and this and that. And then when they told me the person's name, I said, yeah, I said, I know. I said, I didn't know, that mashallah, I knew he was very wealthy. I said, but even that brother, when I saw him, I told him off. And I said, this what you're doing is wrong. He said, nobody said anything to me, such a big donor, as he could be a donor to anybody. I speak to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I don't care who the person is. You could be the wealthiest person. Your wealth means nothing to me. If your wealth can buy my silence, my ilm and my knowledge and my words they can't be bought. They can't be influenced. You cannot insert something in my mouth that I don't want to say. Inshallah, bi'idhnillah, till the day I die, may Allah never put me in that fitna where someone else's words are coming from my mouth. So the kids were very shocked because they were like, no, so nobody says anything to this person. I was like, yes, because the one who spreads the hands doesn't spread the feet, and the one who spreads the feet doesn't spread the hand. I told you all the story. For the young boys who are not here, I'll say the story again for them. There was a scholar who was sitting down and his feet were stretched, and the Khalifa came. He saw the feet stretched and was really angry that the scholar didn't retract his feet. So he said, I want his head. They said, Shaykh, you can't take his head because if you kill him, you'll be a martyr and people will rise against you. It's in your best interest to be nice to the scholar. So he sent some money towards him as appreciation. If you can't force them, then at least give them gifts so you can buy them. The scholars that can't be forced, unfortunately, they can be bought. This has happened in history, throughout history. And there's so many stories of that. These are my tangents now. No, I go too much. Today when I was coming to class today, I said, no, today I'm going to hardcore just tarjuma. Huh? Yes, I'm trying to push it. I'm trying to push it. Last year at this time we were done with 10 juz, 11 juz. And we haven't even finished the 3rd juz now. So I have to push it forward. So anyway,